In this video, I revisit a trail I once snowshoed. I worried I was getting forgetful.
Well, that's a good sign. My memory is still somewhat functional.
And I finally get Mickey to look at the camera. Sort of. In this two-part series, I'm on the Grab Lake Trail near Whitefish Falls, and I follow in my own footsteps as I hike to the far end of the lake and eventually beyond. We begin our hike at the trailhead, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this trail looks in the summer, since I've only ever been here in the winter.
Alright, so that lake in the distance is called Grab Lake. We're going to walk along its shoreline for a little bit, and then hopefully make it all the way to Horseshoe Lake. We're on the Escarpment Biosphere Conservancy land, and we're near Whitefish Falls, just south of Espanola. It's a beautiful area, all natural, not very well traveled by all indications. This beautiful brand new boardwalk that they've built is much appreciated, but I don't think it's particularly well used. I don't think a lot of people really know about this trail system yet. So looks like we might have it all to ourselves today. So the last time I was here was a couple winters ago. Did a little bit of snowshoeing. Really quite a nice trail, and I've always wanted to come back and see this in the summer. So here we are in the summer.
It's about a 5-kilometer or 3-mile hike to the end of Grab Lake and back. But hikers have the option of continuing on to Horseshoe Lake, which is what we did.
I remember in the winter time when I was here, I'd made a note that there wasn't a lot of trail indicators, tree blazes, that sort of thing. There were some, but it wasn't always obvious where the trail was going, but really it wasn't hard to figure it out. You just stay between these two rock ridges and you'll get to where you want to go. There's one of those tree blazes that I mentioned were kind of few and far between, but pretty much impossible to get lost on this trail.
As mentioned, this trail continues to Horseshoe Lake. From there, you'll be able to connect with the renowned Heaven's Gate Trail, making it possible for hikers to complete a 7-kilometer or 4.2-mile loop instead of having to backtrack.
So we've walked about 1.5 kilometers, almost 1.6, so we'll call it a mile. And this is Grab Lake, and then the one after that is the one we're actually trying to get to today, called Horseshoe Lake, which I know is beautiful because I've seen it from different trail areas before. So we'll go have a look. We're going. Perfect day. Now, if memory serves, I seem to remember some large fallen rock, which will be on the left side of the trail, unless I'm confusing this trail with one of the others I've been on, which is entirely possible. But I remember it looked quite nice in the wintertime. It still had moss on it that you could see through the snow. So if this is the trail, I'll try and spot that rock again.
I don't know what interested me more, seeing that rock again, or finding out if I was still able to remember things correctly.
And there's that rock I remember from my previous hike here in the wintertime. So I did remember this rock, and I did remember being on this trail. So that's a good sign. My memory is still somewhat functional.
Happy in the knowledge I passed my memory test, we marched on.
Wow, look at that carpet of green. Goodness, I think I was in Ireland or something. I do remember this steep hill from the winter time, and not far beyond the bottom of the hill is the shoreline of Grab Lake and the creek that connects it to Horseshoe Lake.
Knowing we were heading to Horseshoe Lake anyway, we opted not to go down the hill to see the end of Grab Lake. So we turned left here and carried on. And that leg of the hike will be in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.